I am a creature of habit. I come into work at 8:21, unless there is traffic, and I park on the second floor of the parking garage attached to the building. I work at a corporate office, and the scariest thing I ever had happen to me was a caller that swore at me. My job is at a call center, making sure sick people get their medication. Usually I work overtime, and so I get off at about 7, for a grand total of a 10-hour day. I come home, say hi to my family, and go to bed. That is, until I noticed something. As I was walking through the parking garage, past the elevator and towards the stairs, I park on the second floor, so why waste the electricity? I walked past the elevator doors and I heard a slight ding as the elevator door slid open silently. Now this isn't out of the ordinary, as people are always going in and out. I forgot about it until it was 7 and I was going home. Now most people are already gone by this time, and so I walked alone up the stairs past the elevators. Again, a ding sounded and the elevator opened. I brushed it off and went home. The next morning was a holiday for most people, but I came in because I needed the money. Again, I parked on the second floor, and then as I walked by, the doors began their silent routine. I thought to myself, if they do that again, then I'll take it. At around 4, the sky was dark with storms, and since it was mid-November, the sun was already down. I walked up the stairs and past the elevators. I paused. The doors began to open, and a soft, familiar ding rang out in the cold evening air. I stepped back and turned to look inside the elevator. Like always, it was empty. Not a soul in sight. I stepped in and laughed under my breath. I am an idiot, as my mind wandered to what this elevator wanted to show me. The doors closed and I waited in the dim light of the elevator. Then the soft familiar ding sounded again, and it began to descend. Not long into the ride, the screen changed from a 2 to a 1, and then it completely shut off as the elevator kept descending. A sudden chill went up my spine. This parking garage isn't that deep, is it? As the elevator slowly descended, I felt something like dripping water on my shoulder. I wheeled around, wiping my hand on my shoulder to dry it. There wasn't anything. No water, no liquid, and no source. Until I saw something in the polished metal of the elevator door. It was a dark figure, standing right behind me. I couldn't make anything out other than this figure was just slowly shifting behind me. I pulled out my phone to see if I could call for help or at least take a video of this strange thing. I had no signal as the parking garage was pure concrete, and this metal cage I was trapped in shielded me from the service I was so desperate to get. It must have been at least 10 minutes of the descent of me standing paralyzed and fixated on this shadow being with my phone recording everything. Then the elevator stopped and the doors silently opened, and I was met with a pitch black room. The soft familiar ding sounded. I used my phone as a light to try to find my way around and found that it was a huge room. I couldn't make out the other end. I clasped onto one wall and started to slowly shift along it, shining my light all around. And then I found the corner of the room, and what I saw will haunt me forever. I raised my light and saw clear as day a shadow on the wall, but there was nothing in front of me. It was as if someone had the light behind me, but when I moved, it didn't move. I stood petrified in its presence, one hand still clinging to the wall. Then the shadow took its hand off of the wall At that point, I turned tail and legged it to the elevator, certain it was right behind me. I got in and hit the closed door button as fast as I could, as the darkness seemed to be entering the elevator. The doors closed, and the elevator began to ascend. After about 2 minutes, I caught my breath, and the screen popped on again, showing a 1 and then a 2 soon after. The door slipped open, and I was met with the familiar parking garage. I ran out and went home. Though later that night, I decided to review the footage on my phone, but when I tried to open the file, an error message popped up. Data corrupted.